So, Mr. Watts, we've been working together for a while on the TV data initiative. We're about to launch that on April 7th. And you want to just give a brief summary of what we're working on here?
Mr. Steuer, I can certainly do that. So this is an exciting new thought leadership project that we've been putting together for a little while now. We're really delighted to have an incredible collection of companies who've joined the consortium to deliver the project. The companies include Dish Media, Blockgraph, TransUnion and TrueOptic, MadHive, TV Squared, IOTA, and VideoAmp. And our plan really is, as you know, to take a really good hard look at the TV data ecosystem. So this isn't a measurement initiative, but it's designed to look at the opportunities presented by data to supercharge the TV ad market during the years ahead. Obviously, there's a huge amount of work already underway. There's lots of investment, there's lots of opportunity. But I think our research early on, when we were piecing this together, suggested that it's not working as well as it could do. And there's huge opportunity to improve the way the market functions. So our plan is really to engage pretty widely and deeply with the industry over the months ahead, and put together a really thoughtful diagnostic of the market, unpack some of those opportunities, and look for opportunities to improve the way the new ecosystem is functioning. It's going to be a big, all-inclusive project, lots of engagement with the industry, lots of thoughtful research, events and seminars, and should be really exciting. Question for you, my friend. Why are we doing this?
Well, I mean, from my personal experience as a research and data nerd hanging around the space for a while, I'd say Dr. Cheesy's diagnosis is this is a mess. And so I feel like the opportunity we have is to try to put together a framework for how it could work better, to your point. And I think there are a bunch of drivers in the marketplace, and trying to pull together a coherent story around innovation and growth will be important here on the data-driven media side. I think we're in the midst of a transition of TV from a unitary broadcast medium to a whole bunch of different distribution channels across a bunch of devices with all sorts of different ways to target and measure ads. There are many different data sets that can be used to enhance the impact of television, but they're hard to get to, they're hard to use, and they're even in many ways hard for advertisers to understand. And to make that transition, I think there are a bunch of challenges that need to be solved, and hopefully we can pave the way for that, right? The ecosystem is very fragmented and poorly defined. There are tons of different inventory pools that are in some cases sold by multiple different providers, but the buy side doesn't necessarily understand that. There's no real independent auditing of data and no unified cross-platform measurement solution today. And all this is happening in a world where there are growing concerns about consumer privacy and security, and changes to the data landscape around things like, cookies and mobile IDs. Identity resolution's at the core of that, because using consumer identity to try to link together advertising delivery and data targeting and measurement across all the devices is critical there. But that's also still cumbersome and difficult and expensive. So hopefully we can pave the way to address some of those issues in a open industry conversation.
And I think the positive thing is, from our discussions with the industry so far, there's a set of things that we can do in the next 6 months which will make a real difference. So we're going to try and come up with a really clear overview of the landscape to look at the different relationships between the different participants in the ecosystem. And we're particularly going to look at the use cases for data and unpack what needs to happen from a workflow point of view to execute around those. I think just providing some clarity would be incredibly helpful for the industry. We're definitely be looking at the opportunities for advertisers to bring their own data to campaigns on what needs to happen to really unlock the full potential of that opportunity. And then I guess we're going to have to assess some of the barriers and blockages and look at the scope for collective action to address and unpack those. So I think the key thing for me is that this is a dialogue a really interactive process. We're going to spend a lot of time talking with and working with the industry, with key trade bodies, with the buy side, with the sell side. And hopefully by the summer, we'll have a really useful, thoughtful piece of work that can really help the industry to move forwards. I have one question for you, though, which I guess is a question we have to bite, which is, what about media measurement? Clearly a big part of the market.
I mean, it's a huge challenge. And I think, we've been aligned, you and I, on not really trying to address it as a core of the conversation here, only because there have been several other initiatives in the marketplace focused on that over the last year and a half or so. The Future of TV initiative out of EY, a bunch of good work out of SIM. And I think the stage has at least been set on the measurement side for what needs to be done. And, I think, as we've discussed, one of the gap even on the measurement side is addressing some of these privacy and identity issues. And so hopefully we can help solve for measurement by solving for some of the other missing parts in the ecosystem.
We can build on some of those initiatives which are already underway and making really good progress. So I guess in terms of what happens next, the big thing to everyone out there is that we'll be launching the program today, April the 7th. We'll then be running a pretty big piece of research and analysis, talking very widely to the industry. And then the real meat will be getting into some really interesting seminars and workshops to try and look at how the industry can come together to solve those problems. So lots of work to happen, lots of opportunities to get engaged. There's details, I think, below this video. Please get in touch, and we hope to have a really fantastic initiative that helps everybody move forwards.